Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is Friday Practice 2 ahead of the 2022 Dutch Grand Prix. If you are new to the channel, if you are a Formula 1 fan, then get yourself subscribed because I'm live for every single qualifying and every single Grand Prix from the Formula 1 World Championship. And please do drop me a like on the stream as well. It really helps the channel get noticed on YouTube and we can start growing the channel and growing the community. So yeah, welcome back guys. It's FP2 and I am seeing that there is some breaking news, so just bear with me a minute on that. And yeah, I think Carl, you might be right on that one. So let's just find out about that. But yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. Welcoming Chris Poundcoin, Carl, and Tax. Welcoming. We are. I think there might be a little bit of delay to FP2 because the Formula 2 qualifying. In fact, I'm going to get the headphones on and see what they're saying because the Formula 2 qualifying was a mess. There was multiple red flags spinning off. Many incidents. Let's have a look. McLaren statement. Here we go. McLaren Racing has signed 2021 Formula 2 champion Oscar Piastri on a multi-year contract to partner Lando Norris from 2023. The 21-year-old Australian from Melbourne has an impressive motorsport resume, winning the 2019 Formula Renault Euro Cup before going on to win the 2020 Formula 3 Championship and 2021 Formula 2 Championship in consecutive rookie seasons. Oscar Piastri confirmed at McLaren for 2023. And there's the little breaking news, little jingle from Sky Sports. Oh, it's just become an exciting day. It has become an exciting day. Andres Seidel being interviewed for McLaren at the moment. I don't know if FP2 is going to start. I don't think FP2 is going to start right now because, like I say, F2 quali was a madness. Multiple red flags. I don't even know who got pole position in the end. But the big breaking news as we come live for FP2 at the Dutch Grand Prix. Oscar Piastri joins Lando Norris at McLaren as we expected. And big news, big announcement. And what an exciting lineup that McLaren have got now for 2023. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Welcome in, Carl. You got it right, Carl. You were bang on the money. The camera's lagging again. I don't know why. I'll try and sort it out for tomorrow for qualifying. I think the laptop's struggling with something. I don't know what he's struggling with. He's struggling with something. But yeah, apologies if the camera's a little bit laggy. Like I said, try and sort that out. Heads will roll at Alpine, says Mark. Welcome to the stream, Mark Smith. If they spent so much supporting him, exactly, Mark. They were saying on Sky last week that Alpine had pumped 10 million euros into the young junior career of Oscar Piastri, and then he just ditched him as soon as he gets the chance to jump ship. He has done. I think he's a little bit miffed that he's on the sidelines this year, and he probably thought that he would be on the sidelines again if he stayed with Alpine. Obviously, he didn't know that Fernando Alonso had jumped ship. So Oscar Piastri was probably sat there 2 or 3 months ago thinking, I'm going to be on the sidelines again at Alpine, because he'd have been looking at it going, Alpine are going to be happy with Alonso, they're going to be happy with Ocon, and what am I going to do, just sit here? So that at that point, probably 2 or 3 months ago, he probably thought, I need to start speaking to other teams, and that's what he's done. He started speaking to McLaren. Obviously they weren't happy with Daniel Ricciardo's performances this season, and they just married themselves up, and it makes sense. But he didn't tell Alpine, did he? And they announced him as a driver for next year. He turned around and said, no, I'm not, because he has got this agreement. And what an exciting lineup that is for 2023. Norris Piastri. Yes, Captain. Oscar for McLaren. Confirmed. Confirmed. Literally 5-10 minutes ago. Oscar Piastri is confirmed as a McLaren driver alongside Lando Norris. Big breaking news, guys. What do we think of that? Get your opinions in the chat. Get involved, you know. Keeps the conversation flowing. Get your opinions in on Oscar Piastri. Obviously, a great rookie, one of the most hyped young drivers in recent years, and it'd be great to see him on the grid. You know, no more on the sidelines for Oscar Piastri. 1 year is enough. 2 years would have been soul destroying. You probably don't make it on the grid if you're on the sidelines for more than a year. So yeah, big news. it's what we expected, but it's nice to have it confirmed. And yeah, what do we think, guys? Alpine apparently getting Gasly as well. Yeah, I reckon that's it, Carl. I don't know if you saw my video the other day, but I went through who's going to get the Alpine seat. I feel like they should go for Gasly. That's probably what will happen. They probably have to buy him out of a contract though, because Gasly signed up for AlphaTauri for 2023, so they'll have to rip that up, and that might cost a few million to rip that contract up. But yeah, expect Gasly to be at Alpine next year. I don't know what's going to happen with Daniel Ricciardo. Maybe he goes to Haas, maybe he goes to another series. But yeah, I think Alpine have got to make the right decision, and I think it's a bit of a risk to try and pull Daniel Ricciardo out of a massive slump. You know, I think it's a bit of a risk to try and pull Ricciardo out. You know, getting back to 2018 Daniel Ricciardo, it might be a bit of a long shot now at this point. I think you've got to go Pierre. But yeah, yes, Lewis, welcome to the stream, bro. How are we doing? Exactly, DB. Good opportunity. Glad he took it. Can't blame him. Yeah. Obviously, well, not obviously, but I think he must have made this agreement with McLaren before this whole drama with Alonso jumping ship and everything. You know, he's obviously had conversations with McLaren previous to all that. Previous to the Sebastian Vettel retirement announcement, basically. So, yeah, this is what's happening. It's all change at the mill. It is full musical chairs in Formula One. But it's exciting times. It's exciting times for McLaren as well. Obviously, being beaten by Alpine at the minute, but looking to next year, you know, unfortunately, Daniel Ricciardo has just not been producing. Not just this season, but even last season as well. So they've made the decision, and it is Oscar Piastri. One Australian replaces another as well. What do you think about that, Tax? If you're still here, what do you make of that? One Australian replacing it. Oh my God, the camera's so laggy. I do apologise, guys. I don't know why the camera's so laggy. But yeah, what do you make of that, Tax? Get rid of one Australian to get the new upcoming star. I did tell you, Tax, you know, you've been betting on Daniel Ricciardo and stuff, and I've been telling you, it's not Daniel you want to be cheering on. You got to wait for your next man. And here he is. Here he will be, alongside Lando Norris at McLaren. I don't know when FP2's starting, by the way. Obviously, it should have started 5 minutes ago. But like I say, F2 Formula 2 qualifying was dramatic. I didn't see all of it. I just saw bits of it, and I think there was at least 3 red flags. A lot of drivers spinning off in the gravel, going through the gravel, breakdowns, mistakes. It was a bit of a calamity. So that's obviously delayed the start of FP2. Hopefully not by much. You know, it should be next 5 or 10 minutes, I would imagine. But yeah, we're just still on an interview with Andreas Seidel, obviously talking about this brand new driver that they're going to get for 2023, Oscar Piastri. But yeah, welcome into the stream as well, Anto. It's all right, Rob. About time it came. Came out. Who's driving where? Yeah, obviously there's still some uncertainties. You know, the Alpine thing's not certain yet, whether it's going to be Ricciardo, Gasly, whether they do a wild card and go for, you know, Alpine might throw a wild card and go Mick Schumacher. I know that's what Ocon wants. Ocon wants Mick Schumacher. You know, maybe they do. I'll give that a 10% chance. It's not completely out of the question, but I find it unlikely. They'd probably go Gasly or Ricciardo, Alpine. But yeah, the seats are starting to sort themselves out a little bit. Obviously, you've got the mystery at Williams. I don't know who takes the second Williams seat. If Latifi puts in a good last 8 races, they'll probably stick with Latifi. Better the devil you know, innit? But if Latifi keeps finishing 18th, I think they've got to look at either this Logan Sargent guy in Formula 2, or maybe they look at Daniel Ricciardo, but I don't think Ricciardo will go to Williams. But they've got to think about switching it up, have Williams. Quarter past. Okay, so FP2 gets underway in 8 minutes. So it gets underway at quarter past the hour. Yeah, with F2 quali being the dramatic session that it was. Just pushed us back 15 minutes, but that's absolutely fine. We're now seeing footage of Jensen driving this monstrous Hesketh from the mid-70s, or maybe early 70s. Yeah, 74, 75 season. He's just said, yeah, mate, this thing's a monster. This is just raw. It's just a proper racing car from the mid-70s, that. Jensen, very lucky to be able to drive that. But yeah, how are we doing? Saw something saying Ricciardo for the Mercedes reserve seat. That would be a weird one. That would be a strange one, that car. That would be, that's plucking randomness out of the air, that is. Flipping Mercedes reserve driver at 32? No, surely not. Surely not. I can't see him being a reserve driver for anybody. I think if he doesn't get the Alpine seat, maybe he goes to Haas. But I can see Daniel Ricciardo racing America next year. I can see him being in IndyCar or... Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe Alpine take the risk and say, right, we've worked with you before. We know you. You know the team. You slot straight back in. I don't know, man. I don't know. Doing all right after getting ban order. Oh. You do know it's not a bragging right, that, Lewis. That means you've been a bit out of order. If you've got a banning thing, I would not be bragging about that. that's mad. Your singing must be really poor. I think it's more what they were singing, Chris. I think they were singing some pretty drastic things. This is it, Tax. It's a bit mad in it, Tax, for him to, obviously Alpine, the Renault Junior program have carried him through his career so far, spending millions of dollars on testing time, F3, F2, all the rest of it, sponsored him all the way through, and then he just jumps ship to their biggest rival at the moment, because that's what it is. Alpine and McLaren are big rivals, so he's jumping ship to their main competitor, which is big oof. It's a bit, but you got to do what you got to do, I suppose. You've got to do what you've got to do. Here's Stanley for you. Will Max be out in this practice? I assume that he's going to be up and running in this practice session. Yes. They've had a couple of 2 or 3 hours to fix the car. I would assume that Max will be firing on all cylinders in this session, and he'll be wanting to get some laps on the board. Obviously, he only did 10 minutes of FP1, then the gearbox blew up. So, yeah, Max will be keen to get out there. And I imagine that the car will be near enough ready. But I've not heard anything to say otherwise. We'll probably find out in the next couple of minutes what's happening with Max. Ricciardo could go and replace Gasly at AlphaTauri. Yeah, but AlphaTauri's junior Red Bull Junior program, I mean, they have gone outside that once or twice, but there's going to be many, Red Bull young drivers queuing up, and there's other young talent on the grid. I think if Ricciardo goes AlphaTauri, again, that's really random. It's really random. I don't see that happening. What gets in the queue for the Red Bull seat again? It's at 32, 33 years of age. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But yeah, the session starts in about 4 minutes. Hopefully the live timings will work. I'll refresh that screen in a minute, see if we can get the live timings up, and yeah, we'll be rock and roll. First day with you. Cheers, Lawn and Border. Welcome to the stream. I think there's quite a few new people today. I've changed a couple of things, and it seems to have brought a couple of new faces to the stream. So welcome in, and obviously it's the first season I've been doing this, so obviously it's just a minuscule channel at the moment. But obviously anything we can do to grow it and get it going is greatly appreciated. So I appreciate you subscribing with me. Appreciate every single person in the stream. Need you all. We're on ground zero, Lawn and Border. So Appreciate you sticking with me. Have you covered Piastri news? Yes. As soon as we came live, it was pretty much breaking news as I was like loading all this up and coming live. I literally, you know, it is on the phone. I don't know if you're from the UK or what, but you get that notification. Yeah, I was like, oh my god! And then Carl was in the chat going, Carl was in the chat saying Piastri, and I was like, oh my god, it's happening right now. But yeah, Piastri is confirmed with Lando Norris, and yeah, we're just seeing Max Verstappen's breakdown from FP1. He only got 10 minutes worth of running done, but the car looks ready. He's sat in the car right now, so it looks like as soon as the session starts in 2 minutes, Verstappen will be out. He'll be ready. But yeah, appreciate everybody. Let's see Ricardo in Indy. I reckon he could do that, DB. I reckon he could go over to IndyCar and smash it up. You know what I mean? Be a big fish in IndyCar. The main man. I think he'll do well. Looks like Verstappen is going out. He is, Carl. Yeah, he's looking ready. Right, let's see if we can... let's see what's happening with this. Practice 2 is loading. I don't know how easy it's going to be to see it with this background picture. I might change the background image if it's difficult to see. Yeah, it's going to be difficult to see in it. Alright, let me change this. I knew this picture would be too bright. Let me change it. Zandvoort. Yeah, we've got this. It's an old photograph, but at least with this, because it's dull, because the colours aren't as bright, at least we'll be able to see the timing board in it, and that's what's more important. What's better, a bright background image or actually seeing the live timings? I know the answer to that one. Right, so yeah. The session is about to get underway in 30 seconds. I'm not surprised. My understanding was his contract was with Alpine Academy, not Alpine F1. I think that is the technicality that Piastri has been able to exploit. I think that's the technicality that's got him out of it, is that his contract was like Alpine Junior Academy. I think that's the grey area and the technicality that Piastri's pulling. He's pulling that card out and going, that's his escape clause. He was signed up in the academy, but not as a full... for a full fat Formula 1 race seat. I think that's what it is. So he's jumped ship, and McLaren have confirmed him now, so that mystery's over. And yeah, everyone's coming out of the pits. The session's underway. Let me get the timer on. Here we go. 59 minutes on the timer. It is a lovely circuit. They've done it up a lot. I drove around this circuit in a Jaguar about 3 years ago, before the Dutch Grand Prix returned, and it was nothing like this. It's been completely refurbished. It looks completely different to when I drove around here. 59. Yeah, right. We'll start that. So the timer should be on there now. I'll just move it. Over a tad. There we go. So the live timing should be on now. Yeah, we've got Stroll out, Vettel out. Yeah, Stroll. So how are we doing anyway? Back for another session. And hopefully Verstappen will actually get some laps under his belt now. And he's coming out of the pits. Beautiful day in Zandvoort as well. 25 degrees, sun beaming down. But yeah, they've totally refurbished this circuit. It looks night and day to what it was 3 or 4 years ago. Before, as soon as they signed the F1 contract to get the Grand Prix back here, they've spent millions on this, and it looks brilliant. Ricardo will be better than Jimmy Johnson. Is Jimmy Johnson in IndyCar now? He was a big NASCAR. I don't follow IndyCar or NASCAR, but I know that Jimmy Johnson was. He's one of the best to ever do it in NASCAR, and Jimmy Johnson. I'm sure he's like won multiple championships in NASCAR, and I think he's switched over now, and he's retired from NASCAR, gone to IndyCar. I think I don't exactly know. I don't pretend to know about IndyCar and that, but I know about Jimmy Johnson. Do you think Albon could go to a better team? Yeah, Carl. I think Alexander Albon's underrated, but I think he's happy at Williams right now because he's got that stability that he needs in his career at the moment. Obviously, being in the Red Bull Junior program like he has been the past few years, you know, it's difficult. You know, if you don't perform straight away, boom, you then suddenly drop, then you sideline, then you don't know what you're doing from month to month. You know, 1 minute he's at AlphaTauri, then he's at Red Bull, then he's demoted, then he's back on the sidelines, then he's a year out of it, then he's back in. He's probably thought, you know what, Williams are putting a contract on the table. It's a bit of stability. He's signed it. I don't know how long he's signed up for Williams for. I know it's next year for sure. Probably the year after that as well. Just to, you know, you've got to know what you're doing next week, haven't you? And being a Red Bull Junior is a difficult, you know. Yeah, they can get you to the top and they can get you in the race winning car, but it's also must be stressful. So Alex, you know, will stay at Williams for a year or two, and then he might. At that point, once he's had another couple of years in that Williams, he might then decide, or someone might pluck him away, and then he might change teams after that. But I think Alex will be happy with this stability, put it that way. Yeah, but he's terrible in IndyCar. Oh, no, DB. Nightmare, that. Because I'm sure he's got, like, one of the best records ever in NASCAR. I mean, I've not watched NASCAR properly for a few years, but I was watching it when Brad Keselowski was champion. What's that, about 10 years ago? Piastri to race for McLaren in 2023 following CRB decision. Oh, so even it's gone through the courts, and the courts have had to approve it, this fair contract law or whatever it was. Wow. But Piastri confirmed alongside Lando Norris. Exciting, that. Apparently Piastri signed for McLaren the day after Silverstone. Yes, it predates the Vettel retirement announcement. That's the crucial thing. So if he signed up in June, no, when was the British Grand Prix? Like July the 10th or something like that. If he signed it then, he must have been talking to him in like May. I believe it's because Oscar probably thought, I'm going to spend another year on the sidelines at Alpine. I've got to look elsewhere. That's probably what he thought back in May, June. But yeah, session's underway. 5 minutes gone already, and pretty much everyone out on circuit, I think. Pretty much everyone has taken to the circuit. Replay on board with Fernando Alonso. Yeah, I've seen a couple of F2 drivers spin off at turn 7 there during Formula 2 qualifying. That guy, what was he? Jordan Deruva? He spun off at the end there, turn 7. Look at that banked corner there. Yeah, look at how banked turn 3 is. That's a great place to watch Formula 1, actually. And Alonso was the first man to do this high line right up against the sponsorship. Right up at the top. You almost... Unbelievably blank. Yeah, I think your best run, I think the ideal line is to sort of have one wheel on the actual Aramco sponsorship going around turn 3. Really high line, and then you get that perfect run. You get the throttle to the floorboard and get a better run then all the way down the straight. Well, I say straight, it's kind of... It's not really a straight. down to turn 7, but wow. Yeah, it is. Um, Someone getting fired for that for sure. Yeah, what a mess. What a mess for Alpine. The thing is, Alpine have had Oscar Piastri and Fernando Alonso announce that they're leaving or leaving the team within days of each other. Literally within days of each other. They've lost Piastri and Alonso, which there's got to be some concerned phone calls going round at the management there at Alpine. Got to be some angry phone calls behind the scenes there. Piastri and Alonso both dipped out within a week of each other, mate. Yeah, from a management side, it's a disaster. But they can go and get Pierre Gasly out of AlphaTauri, and I think that'll be a good lineup. Two French drivers, French team. Apparently, I've seen all over Twitter that Ocon and Gasly don't really get on. I've never seen any evidence of that. I mean, obviously they're not best mates, but I've not seen why they dislike each other. Maybe just because their careers are sort of very similar. They've got similar results, similar. They both had one win each. They both had a similar amount of points during the career. I don't know whether they're just like fierce French rivals. I've never seen any evidence that they dislike each other, but apparently that's a thing. Like from stuff that I've seen on Twitter, apparently it's a thing that Gasly and Ocon don't get on. But whatever. But I think it's a strong lineup anyway. Whether they get on or not, does it really matter? Not sure why they can't make him stay in the academy. Nah, you can't make someone stay in the academy forever, though, can you? At the end of the day, he needed to race in 2023, and my opinion is that he thought he was going to be on the sidelines again. That's my opinion, is that he was probably looking at it in May and thinking, they're happy with Alonso and Ocon here. How long am I going to be sat here in the garage? So you can't keep him in the academy forever. At some point, maybe they should have told him in May, listen, we're going to give you the seat next year. But obviously they didn't do that. So yeah, it was a whole drama. Crofty just going through it now. The whole embarrassment. In fact, I did a live stream when the news broke about Piastri driving for Alpine. When that news broke, I come on, did a live stream off the bat, and as soon as I come on, I talked about it for 45 minutes or whatever, best young driver for a couple of years, blah blah blah, whole hour on Piastri. I cut out, so I was like, yeah, good to see him, da da da. I come off, and then I checked Twitter, and then there's this whole drama he's put on. I'm not going to drive for Alpine. They've done it without my permission. Blah, blah, blah. So then I come on. So then I did another live 2 hours later, coming on going, I mean, what a mess that was. What a flipping mess. I hope that doesn't come back to bite him, that bit of drama, because Piastri's sort of entered F1 in a weird way. He's like entered F1 with a weird bang. It's like, oh, he's entering into Formula One on the back of a bit of controversy, which hopefully people forget about next season. And once he's underway in racing, people forget about that. But it's a bit of a controversial start to his Formula One career, shall we say, for Oscar Piastri. Yeah, in NASCAR, but either Rex or bringing up the rear. Oh god. I need to get back into that, innit, DB? I need to get back into... we could do IndyCar watch-alongs, innit? Wants to know what I'm talking about, we do IndyCar watch-alongs. But obviously this is my sport, I've watched every single Grand Prix for the last 17, 18 years. So I know what I'm talking about in this game, but in IndyCar, mate, I'd be going, which driver's that? I don't know about that. I'd maybe do... like Le Mans next year. We'll do a 24-hour stream on Le Mans. Maybe we do Indy 500. Maybe do Daytona 500. The NASCAR Daytona 500. Maybe just like the main events of the year. Yeah, we'll try and do that next season. Um, Alonso rumours only 1 year contract with Alpine. This is what it would have been, Lorne and Bono. This is what it would have been. They would have only offered him 1 year. They're going to make him move to GT class. Oh no! Imagine trying to tell Alonso that we're going to put you in. We're going to put you in the GTs. Is that all right? No, mate. Maybe that's what the plan was, to give him 1 more year, and Alonso wanted more than that. I think that's the most sensible conclusion you can draw from it, is that Alpine were only offering Alonso a 1 year deal, and Aston Martin were offering him 2 or 3. Maybe more, more money, bigger contract, and maybe they promised him the world as well. Maybe Lawrence Stroll sat Fernando Alonso down and said, these are the plans for 23. We're putting all this infrastructure in. We're putting all this money in. Sold him the dream. I don't know. By the way, your name is Nick. Oh, I refer to you as Nick if I remember. If you prefer that. But yeah. Daytona 24. Oh, I love watching the Rolex 24 at Daytona, actually. I watch that every year, but I mean, imagine trying to do a watch along on a race that's got like 80 drivers. Like, mate, you've got to be so up on it knowledge wise, because it's like three or four drivers per car, and you've got like 50 cars. I mean, it's more than 80 drivers. It must be 100 drivers. No, I don't know about that. It might be a bit of an absolute graft to try to do like Le Mans and Daytona 24, mate. I'm all right on F1. 10 teams, 20 drivers. Been watching it for 20 years. We'll be doing all right. But trying to do Daytona 24. Although I do love to watch it though. It is epic. I have to get the energy drinks out and do a 24-hour stream in January. That end of January, innit, as well. So it's summer break. It's winter break. It wouldn't even clash with anything. Daytona 24, I could do it. It doesn't clash with anything. It's like 24th of January. Yeah, we'll have it. We'll do it, innit? Alonso raced for IMSA and tried Indy 5. Oh, he did. He's trying to get the Triple Crown. Alonso has had a couple of shots at getting that Triple Crown. If you don't know what Triple Crown is, it's Monaco Grand Prix win, Indy 500 win, Le Mans 24-hour win. I think only Graham Hill's done it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Graham Hill is the only man in history to do it. Yeah. But Montoya's got 2 out of 3, but he won't get Le Mans now. He's getting on. He's probably about 50-year-old. And then Alonso's got 2 out of 3. He's missing Indy. Indy 500 is probably the hardest out of the 3 to win. Yeah, because it's kind of a bit of pot luck as well with Indy 500. I mean, that is a difficult one. Oh, you're there, are you, every year, DB? You're there. That's different level, that. You're actually there. Yeah, Nick, watch the 500 with Alonso. Yeah, I know. I was watching. He was leading at one point, wasn't he? Alonso was leading the Indy 500 at one point, and then his engine blew. I was like, oh my God, he's going to do it. He's going to triple crown it. But no. He ain't old. Who's not old? Who's not old? Juan Pablo Montoya is pretty old. The academy contract was the one that ended July 31st, day before. There's something suspicious about that. Anyway, back to FP2, and Lando Norris's car's in bits. I don't know what's happening with Lando Norris, but anyway, first little timing update. We're 18 minutes into the session. Obviously, I've got it on screen there. While I waffle on, we've got it on screen. But yeah, it's Carlos Sainz from Leclerc. 1 and 2 at the moment, separated by 25,000 of a second. Verstappen in there as well. So the top 3 separated by half a tenth. So really, it's a good sign that Ferrari have got some good pace this weekend, because last weekend was a walkover. Hopefully not. Hopefully not this weekend. But yeah, there's something weird about that, Nick, with those contracts. I don't think we've heard the end of all this, but he's confirmed as a McLaren driver, so at least that's one thing that's cleared up. Now we see who gets the Alpine seat. That's the next big. That's the next big one. I think it's this man here on camera right now, Pierre Gasly. I reckon it is. In fact, has anyone seen that leaked video on Twitter? I mean, I don't know how much. It might be a bit misleading, but there is a little video on Twitter going around of supposedly Gasly saying to Leclerc, "I've signed a contract. I just need to sort out the no, something like, I'm working on the contract. I just need to sort out the details," or something like that. Yeah, so someone's filming it, overheard it, but I don't know about that. It might be a bit misleading, that, but we'll see. Yeah, you saw that, Carl. When they were like on the grid walk, when they were, when they go on that truck for the parade lap thing, it's like 2 hours before the race starts. He's just having a little chat. But if it was that, and he was talking about that he's going to drive for Alpine, you wouldn't talk about that out in the open, like with all the cameras, with all the fans. You wouldn't just openly be like, "Yeah, I'm about to sign for Alpine. I'm just working on the details." Like, bro, like, keep on the down low. Like, I feel like I feel like he wasn't talking about that. Maybe he's talking about something else outside of Formula One, or who knows. But yeah. Call you Deb. All right, Deb. Right, so we got Nick and Deb, flipping egg. No, Deb, I can, yeah, be fine. Next year we might hear the other side of the story. I think there is some information missing about this. I'd agree with you. I think there is some information. Fernando Alonso's always been a bit. He's always been a bit tricky, hasn't he? He's always been a bit. Causing a bit of a drama everywhere, every team that he goes to. So I wouldn't be surprised if something does come out that Alonso dropped him in it contractually. I don't know what the hell's gone on, but Alonso's dropped him in it anyway, just absolutely jumping ship out of nowhere. I mean, Vettel announced his retirement on the Thursday, and by Monday, Alonso had dropped Alpine. It's just, it's so impulsive that I don't really get it. I mean, I didn't think Alonso would move teams again in Formula One. He's moving teams at 41 years of age. Are you not fed up with this circus anymore? It's crazy. But we'll see what it does. I mean, watch Aston Martin build a rapid car next year. Then Alonso's like, "Yeah, I told you." It's like when Hamilton moved to Mercedes, mate. The criticism and everyone "Oh, what you doing? You're leaving a championship contending team and going to Mercedes, who at the time were like a midfield car." Mercedes didn't just rock up and win. They're 2010, 11, 12, 13, even when Lewis joined, they weren't fighting for championships. Rosberg got a win in China in 2012, but other than that, it was they were a midfield team, kind of I don't know, kind of like where Alpine is now, sort of thing. They weren't anything incredible, but they sold Lewis the dream and it paid off. And this is why McLaren have been so quiet the last few weeks. Yeah, I think they already had Piastri signed up, but they had to just wait for this clearance. I think there was something. What was this headline say about following CRB decision? This must be the The CRB must be this fair contract court or whatever it is. I don't know the details. Oh yeah, contract recognition board. That's what it is. Contract recognition board. Yeah, so Oscar Piastri will drive for McLaren alongside Lando Norris. A multi-year deal following the decision from the contract recognition board, which ruled that the Australian had a valid contract with the team next year. So it's been like subject to approval, which is a bit mad, but that's how it is. Flipping. So they've had him signed up for maybe a couple of months, but couldn't announce it till it's all been through this association. So anyway, 37 minutes to go in FP2. It's Sainz from Leclerc, Verstappen third fastest. We are watching Max Verstappen going around the final sector and this final banked corner, which they can have the DRS open now on that final corner, which when I heard about this, that they could have the DRS going around the final, I was like, that sounds sketchy, but it seems absolutely fine. I mean, I remember before DRS was a thing, when McLaren invented the F-duct and then everybody copied it. It was basically the early idea of what DRS is now. They used to go around corners one-handed because there used to be the other hand was blocking an airway in the cockpit that used to come from the nose. They used to block an airway, and it used to open the rear wing at the back. It used to stall the rear wing at the back, and so they used to drive round corners one-handed at 200 mile an hour. But they soon outlawed that, and thus that gave birth to DRS. But my point is, I've not seen cars go round corners with DRS since them days. Since 2010. Was it 10 or 11? No, I think 2011 was the first year of DRS, I think. So I think 2010 must have been effed up year. But it was wild. It was wild. You know, you had Alonso one-handed in Spain, like but I love that kind of innovation. It's like Mercedes trying the DAS system and stuff. You got to love that kind of innovation where it's a bit like, what the hell are you doing? But anything to save a tenth. I think this can be the Mercedes' first win. Welcome to the stream, Argent. Maybe you're right. I hope you're right. I hope you are right. I'm not a Mercedes fan or anything. I just won a close race. And if Mercedes are back to the front, it bodes well for the last 8 races, put it that way. If Mercedes win this race, game on for the other 7 races, you know. Like I say, I want 6 cars fighting for the win. You know, that's the dream scenario for the last third of this season, is 6 cars fighting for the win. So Mercedes are certainly looking more competitive than they were last week. So are McLaren, but they've not really shown the hand in this practice session. But yeah, Alonso is P3 at the moment. Russell P2 in the Mercedes. Captain Scarlett doing well up there in P1. He is, yeah. Captain Scarlett. Is Captain Scarlett... Is that something off Thunderbirds, that Captain Scarlett? Or is it... I recognise that. Or is it like Star Trek or something? I have a betting problem. Oh my god, what have you got here? DTJ. What have you done? Because I knew you had $100 on, or pounds, or whatever your currency is, on Verstappen finishing P1 in practice 1, which is a madness because he broke down after 10 minutes. Oh, it was his own series. But was it based off Thunderbirds? Was it a Thunderbirds character, Captain Scarlett? And then he had like a spin-off his own series. Is that what it was? Was it the same kind of thing? Anyway, I have money on Sainz, Russell, Hamilton and Perez to be in the top 3. What's the chances I get any? Yeah. What, so one of those has got to finish in the top 3? Super Mario Nation people did it. Wow. Mate, you. This is before my time, I think, Chris. You know, I'm a 90s kid, me, so it might be before my time, all is. Top three. Oh, top three of practice too. Oh, what's your drivers? Russell, Hamilton, Perret, Science, Russell. Yeah. Yeah, you surely one of them's going to be in the top three, even in this session. I mean, you never know, but I think, yeah. If you lose that, it's unlucky. Put it that way. If you lose that, oh, mate, don't bother tomorrow. But I know, I reckon you do it. But I don't think. No, it's gonna sound like I did bet on Formula One once, and won. It's gonna sound like a lie if I say it, so I ain't gonna say it. Put it this way: I bet on something unlikely and it happened, and it sounds like such BS if I tell the story. So, but anyway, we've got Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Alonso, Stroll, Verstappen. Stroll top five. What? Oh, here we go. Top three practice. You have £100 split between the four. Wow. Why though? £100 plus. So if you get two, you get at least £100 profit. Wow. I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't. Like I say, I did it once years ago, but I wouldn't really touch Formula One with money. Like, I wouldn't put money on the line because just when you think it's predictable, something can happen. Like in FP1, 99 times out of 100, Verstappen's finishing quickest in FP1 there. But he didn't today, because there's so many things can go wrong. There's so many variables that just when you start to think Formula One can be predictable, you just throw you something. So I wouldn't. It'd be too stressful if I had money on it. I'd be like, oh god, I'd be like that, praying every lap. No, I'd be too. I mean, I'm already stressed enough when the race is on. I'm already at full. I'm already at full capacity. Do you know what I mean? I'm already at full. Like, I don't need anything to like boost the excitement of it. Trust me. That'd probably kill me off. That if I had money on it, that would probably kill me off. Actually, that was flatline. Can you imagine having like money on Alonso and then at the last race, and then he's crashing into Hamilton to up at Lacombe? You've got, shut me. You're dead on the spot. Flipping mad. But yeah, Hamilton with a lap only 68 thousandths of a second slower than Carlos Sainz. More than halfway through FP2 now. McLaren with love on the side of the car. I don't know why. He did just have a good lap. Yeah, wish you luck. Hey, good luck, DTJ. Each to their own. I wouldn't do it, but good luck, bro. It's to be perfectly honest with you, it sounds like a pretty solid bet. To be fair, Norris goes P3 then in the McLaren. Yeah, a tenth off Carlos Sainz. Okay. Yeah, I think a similar story is appearing of what we got in FP1, which is Mercedes and McLaren are looking better than they did in Belgium. Put it that way. Mercedes and McLaren are looking better than they did in Belgium. Ferrari as well seems strong. I don't think Verstappen's gone full send yet. 7 tenths off the pace. I wouldn't read too much into that. Leclerc 10th, a full second off the pace, but goes quickest. So Leclerc virtually sets exactly the same time as Carlos Sainz then. 4 thousandths of a second between the two Ferraris, who are now 1 and 2. Hamilton on an outlap in P3. Norris 4th, Russell 5th, Lance Stroll top 6. In fact, we saw Stroll quick in practice in Belgium, but it didn't amount to anything. Maybe they run low fuel. I don't know. Different tyres. Maybe he goes for it in FP2. I don't know. But Stroll was in the top 6 last week in practice, but work that one out. And then you've got Alonso 7th, Verstappen 8th, but I feel like he's still getting used to it after obviously missing FP1 or the majority of FP1. Getting up to it, I don't feel like he's done a full representative lap yet. Verstappen, you've got Perez there as well, 1.1 seconds off the pace in 12th. Is that worrying? Maybe. But yeah, it's a much shorter track as well, as David Croft saying, like, the gaps between all the cars is going to be a lot smaller than it was in Spa. Obviously, Spa would be like, Spa must be getting on for double the length that circuit that this is. Must be nearly double. So the gaps are going to be smaller this weekend anyway. So you're not going to have Mercedes 1.8 seconds off the pace and stuff like that. You probably have 1.8 seconds between first and last, to be honest with you. But yeah, Mercedes are looking better. McLaren as well. McLaren at this, I sound like Gary Neville here saying this, at this moment in time. McLaren at this moment in time, Gary Neville, looking stronger than Alpine, question mark? Maybe. What's that red thing you drink? Oh, it's just juice. It's just blackcurrant juice like I'm 12 years old. Yeah. This is more exciting than having a pint of water, isn't it? Yeah, no, that's all it is. It ain't nothing fancy. It's like flipping... Yeah, exactly, Chris. Apple and black green. Yeah, it's nothing to write home about. Leclerc on a flyer, he was. Yeah, no worries, Arjun. 30 people on, great stuff. Yeah, if you are new to the channel, guys, please do drop me a like and do subscribe to the channel, because obviously this is the first season doing this. We've got to get it up and running, get the channel get more people noticing the channel, get in the chat, and hopefully, 2-3 years down the line we can make something of it. But yeah, I do appreciate everyone that's in the stream at the moment, and I'll be live, of course, for qualifying tomorrow, when we actually get onto commentary and not just having a chat for an hour. But practice, we can have a bit of a chat in it. There's not a lot going on circuit. Anything major happens, obviously I'll be on it, but we have a bit of a chat in practice. But then when it gets to qualifying tomorrow, we put our Murray Walker mask on and we go for it. Well, we don't literally have a Murray Walker mask. That'd be weird, but Murray Walker mode, put it that way. We go into Murray Walker mode and we full send it for commentary. Then the race itself, same deal. But for practice, it's more of a casual thing. It's a casual settings, but I appreciate everyone in. Right, if you're still in the chat, DTJ, which I think you might not be, but if you're still in the chat, bro, the fast laps might be done now. So we've got Leclerc, Sainz, Hamilton, Norris, because they might be coming out on scrub tyres now. So that might be, whatever the order is now, might be the order at the end. I mean, I don't guarantee this, by the way. Disclosure. I don't guarantee this, but whatever the order is now might be the order come the end of the session. So I can't remember what your bet was, but you might be all right. You got Lewis up there. You got a bottle of it there. Yeah, Chris, we'll do a sponsorship deal. You know what I mean? No, but there's only 3 or 4 cars out on circuit at the minute. You've got both Ferraris and George Russell, and that's it. 24 minutes to go. Yeah, 24 minutes to go in FP2. Ferrari's looking good. I don't know, Stroll is like still top 6. Yeah, do a pint off and pretend it's wine. No, we don't do pint offs. Definitely not against Denver. But yeah, I feel like Red Bull have not really shown the hand yet this weekend. Um, Perez has seemed to be struggling in FP1. He was off circuit a couple of times, running wide. He nearly hit the wall at one point in FP1. So I don't know. With Red Bull on the back foot, um, obviously it's just practice. It's not really, can't really draw any major conclusions. But they don't look like they're going to walk it as easily as they were in Belgium. So that's good, because we need it to be. We want some competition. But I think just this. I think for Red Bull as well, the stars aligned in Belgium. I think there was a few things that just lined up perfectly. Hamilton being out of the race, maybe Lewis would have upset the apple cart. Maybe Lewis would have been genuinely quick. So Lewis out on lap one. I think the car suited that, or the track suited the car suited the track, whichever way around you want to say that. But for Red Bull, it did just perfectly. The stars aligned, and the car was perfect for the track. Even Leclerc said that the Red Bull, it's as if it was built specifically for Spa. So hopefully that is the most dominant performance we'll see, because as a neutral and as someone that wants a competitive, exciting race, that kind of domination where you can just rock up from 14th and easily win is concerning. Obviously Verstappen the last two races he's come from 10th in Hungary and won, and then 14th in Spa and won with ease. In Hungary he spun and still won. In Spa, he won by like 18 seconds in the end. So let's have Mercedes on the ball. Let's have Ferrari on the ball. Let's have 6 cars fighting for the win this weekend. That's what we want. Your point of has Gasly gone out yet? People are starting to go back out on track. If the name's greyed out, they're in the pits. If it's white, then they're out on circuit. That's how it is. Merck's doing well. They are, Jonathan. I think it's looking better. British bias Barbarossa. I don't know what that means. I don't know what Barbarossa means. But I'm not British bias. Trust me. I was a big Fernando Alonso fan. I've got massive respect for Max Verstappen. My favourite driver's Mick Schumacher. So, I mean, work that out. If that's British bias and my favourite drivers are German. Yeah. It is what it is. Jamie Chadwick in the Williams garage. I think she's won all but one race in the W Series, hasn't she, Jamie Chadwick? Absolutely dominating it. They need to get her in F2, I feel. They need to get Jamie Chadwick in Formula 2 somehow. I feel like that'd be a proper testing ground. I think W Series, she's absolutely, put it this way, Jamie Chadwick's more dominant in W Series than Verstappen is in Formula 1. She's won. I think she won every single race, apart from one. And the one she didn't win, she was second and very nearly won. So, I think she's got that on lockdown, to be honest with you. I think they need to... I'd love to see her in F2. And then eventually maybe in F1. Is Hamilton starting from the back? As far as I know, he isn't, no. But you might know something I don't on that. Because... but I don't think so. I've not heard of any grid penalties this weekend. Obviously, it was grid penalty mad in Spa. Because you can overtake, obviously, it was beneficial. If you're going to take a grid penalty, a new engine, it was a good option to take it in Spa because you can overtake easily. I don't think people would voluntarily take new engines at this event. because it's narrow, it's tricky to overtake. So I would doubt that they would voluntarily take a new engine for Lewis at this point. So I've not heard about that. As far as I know, there isn't any grid penalties this weekend, but I might be wrong. Never been here. Serious question. Do you share the actual race live or just the lap time? Yeah, just the live timings. Obviously, if I start sharing the actual race, game over. Channel in the bin immediately. So yeah, nobody can do that. So we just offer a different opinion. We can get in the chat. We can all have a discussion in the chat. It's interactive. We get on full commentary mode during the race. So if you're bored of David Croft, you've got a motorsport madman. But yeah, we can get in chat. We can all have a discussion about anything Formula One. And yeah, we've got the live timers as well, which obviously you don't get on TV. You don't get what tyres are on and sector times and all the rest of it. So adds a little bit more data than what you get on TV, a different opinion, and it's interactive. So that's what we offer. But cheers for joining the stream anyway, Chug. Chug Hennetorn. There you go. She's a strong driver. She is a strong driver. She's very good. I say get her in with the F2 lads, innit? And then if she's still competitive, then we can talk, innit? If they put Jamie Chadwick in Formula 2 and she's still fighting at the front, then right, game on. Then you start thinking, right, here we go, series contender here. Yeah, she's got to switch series. I feel they're still working on Lando Norris's car. He's still in bits. Norris obviously set a quick time, a tenth of a second off the pace, but there's a problem. I don't know what the problem is, but they've got the side pod off. And yeah, watching Formula W at Miami. I think I've seen. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's not a hell of a lot of races in W Series. I think they've done 6 or 7, but she's won them all, pretty much. I have to go and get a kid from school. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'm on Denver's channel on Sunday, Anto. Yeah, Arsenal United. I'll be on there with him after the Grand Prix. So yeah. Jamie gets an F2-3. Yeah, exactly. Careers are too short to wait. Exactly, Barry. They are. She can't just sit on the sidelines racing in a W series. Like, it's a great little series, but I feel like she needs to move up. Wow, they got a leak. McLaren have got a leak or something. Is it Ricciardo's car? I thought it was Russell with the. I thought it was. I've been saying Norris the whole time. It's been Ricciardo's car with the problem. I apologise. It's Ricciardo's car with the problem, not Norris. But yeah, so Ricciardo's car with all the side pod off, big leak. I don't know what's going on there. Lewis coming back out of the pits. Deb, yeah. Yeah, Ricciardo, not Norris, was the problem. They're just talking about this Piastri mess, which is quite interesting, actually. Yeah, I don't think it's the last we've heard about this Piastri contract situation, but 14 minutes ago then FP2, and yeah, the order's not changed, so I feel like the first half of the session was they really pushed for a lap. Now maybe they're doing some long runs, race pace, and this might be the finishing position, what you see on screen right now. In which case, interested going into there'll be final practice tomorrow, and then I'll be live for qualifying 10 to 2 in the afternoon, I believe. Qualifying at 2 p.m. I'll be live at 10 to 2 for that. But yeah, interesting that Norris is is only a tenth off the two Ferraris. Verstappen's 7 tenths off. I don't think you can read too much into that. If they don't give Jamie a chance when she's so dominant, exactly. If they don't give Jamie a chance now, when will they ever give someone else a chance? Exactly. They've got to move her out of that series. Williams. You know, if they can have Logan Sargent in F2, they can have Jamie Chadwick in F2. And Sonoda's gone off. He's in the gravel. I don't know which part of the circuit he's at. But turn 9 says Paul di Resta. Wow, how's he ended up like that? Oh, he's beached it, I think. Yeah, I think we're going to get a red flag here. I think we're going to get a red flag. Yuki Tsunoda's beached on the exit of turn 9. It's going to be red flag, this. 12 minutes to go in the session. And it is a red flag. And he's stuck in that gravel. It's weird. I don't know if he's lost. He must have lost the rear end, tried to correct it and spun off. At a guess. But yeah, Yuki Tsunoda, that's the end of his day. And it is a red flag. Red is everywhere, even the drink is red. Oh yeah, it fits in with the branding. Oh, I mean, apologies everyone for the camera being like so laggy. I'll try and sort that out for tomorrow. I'm going to see what's causing that lag. Because I don't think it's a live time, because it's never been this bad before, the camera lagging. So it's not the live timings, because I did that last week and it was a lot better than it is now. I don't know. I'll have a look. I'll do some overnight experiments on why it's lagging so much and try and get it, because it's like a bit weird, like 1 frame a second on the camera. So yeah, apologies for that. But yeah, 11 minutes ago we got a red flag. And everything's red. Yeah, Argent. That's it, red and black. That's the theme. Karen Chandok. I think Karen Chandok is he's leaning towards Pierre Gasly going to Alpine as well, by the sound of it. Because he's right. He's saying that AlphaTauri are going to end up where you've got Yuki Tsunoda in one car, and then what, bringing a rookie into the other? AlphaTauri are in trouble if Pierre goes to Alpine. Do AlphaTauri look at Mick Schumacher if Mick Schumacher's dropped from Haas, or do they? I mean, where do AlphaTauri turn? You can't, like Karen Chandok saying there. Can you really bring a rookie in alongside Yuki Tsunoda, who's, well, you know, Yuki Tsunoda has just spun off and caused a red flag. That's not out of the ordinary for Yuki Tsunoda. So yeah, Karen Chandok saying Gasly at Alpine is the right decision. I don't think anything's set in stone right now, but let me hear what he's saying. Best driver available on the market, says Karun. Yeah. That's what they should do. He's not really on the market though. Like, he signed a deal with AlphaTauri, so they'll have to spend some money to get him out of it. But hi Farhan, welcome to the stream, Farhan. It is a red flag. Not a lot going on circuit at the minute, but welcome to the stream. 9 minutes to go. Yuki Tsunoda's spun off at the well, I say spun. He's ended up in the gravel on the exit of turn 9. We've not actually seen a replay of what happened, but he has stopped in the gravel on the exit of turn 9 and caused a red flag. And they're talking about the mess that AlphaTauri could be plunged into if Pierre Gasly does leave the team at the end of the season. You're running with Yuki Tsunoda, and then what are you going to do? Bring a rookie in? Difficult one there. Difficult one. Um, I'm not lagging. Oh, maybe. Well, am I not? Maybe. I'll watch it back later and I'll have a look. Well, fair play, Barry. I appreciate the feedback. Obviously, if anything's like really messed up, just tell me. If the audio's gone off or something, like, don't anybody be afraid to tell me, like, mate, this is completely wrong. What you doing? Like, but no, I appreciate that. Yeah, maybe it's not lagging on your end. We'll see. Um, like the Albanian flag. Albanian flag. Is that like this got like a red crest on it on the front? I feel like. Um, I think Haas would be mad to lose Mick Schumacher. The boy's got talent. Yes, Barry. Favorite driver, dude, is Haas. We've got to rep the underdog, don't you? Um, you know, that guy before saying British bias and flipping. My favourite team's American and my favourite driver's German, and a bloody hell. Oh, but yeah, I tell you what, Mick's had a couple of outstanding races there in Austria and Britain. He was eighth and sixth, and I was thinking, here we go. I was like, here we go, because I'm a Mick Schumacher fan because his dad was my childhood hero. Basically, you know, Michael was. It was the red Ferrari when I was growing up, you know. So his dad's my childhood hero. So Mick, it's got, you know, it's an emotional connection. So yeah, I just hope and pray that he has got it. And when you saw the result in Austria and in the British Grand Prix and eighth and sixth, I'm thinking he's got it. He's got it. I want him to have that fire, that magic. You know what I mean? I want him to have that magic, and you go, oh, you know. But yeah, hopefully he doesn't get dropped, man. Hopefully, I feel like he's got more to offer. Hopefully, he's still in Formula One next season. I really hope so. But you never know. I mean, if Daniel comes, you know, if Daniel wants the Haas move, you know, do Haas? I mean, not saying he will want the Haas move, but if Daniel does, maybe they replace Mick with Daniel. But I hope that doesn't happen. You never know. I won't rule anything out at the minute. Um, Everyone seems to be leaving. End of an era. Well, Vettel's leaving, but Fernando. I think when Fernando and Lewis are gone, that'll be the end of an era there, because Kimmy's gone. I feel like Kimmy was part of that. Kimmy, Seb. Yeah, once Kimmy, Seb, Lewis, and Fernando have all gone, that'd be like every driver that I watched from the beginning when I started watching. Oh god, that yeah. In another 2 or 3 years, it'll be like, oh wow, like the oldest driver would be like, well, who will be the oldest? The oldest driver would be like Bottas in a couple of years, or Perez. Like the oldest drivers. Once Lewis and Fernando are gone, it'll be like Perez and Bottas would be the oldest. Like that's a weird. That's a way, you know, and Kevin Magnussen be like 33 or something. You're like, hey yo, like this is a different game now. That'll be the proper, yeah. Once Lewis and Fernando are gone, we're in a different era. Then we're in a different era now. To be fair, with Max and Lando and George and Charles, we're already in a different era. No, I'm British, Chris. Yeah, but that doesn't affect who support on track. Right. What are we saying? See, that's when they're bringing Ricardo in. Rishi Fires, no. I don't genuinely haven't. Like, I could see why, people might click on it and just see a British lad and be like, and then I mentioned Hamilton and they'll just be like, yeah, it's a Hamilton fight. Like, it's just one of the group. But genuinely, no. Like, genuinely, Verstappen or Hamilton, I've got no bias either way. Apart from the shocking overtake on Vettel, he's been really consistent. Oh, Mick, yeah, yeah, yeah. That it was in Miami, wasn't it? Last lap. Oh, mate, I was like, oh god. I remember him saying on the commentary as well. They were saying, you can't be friends as drivers, and I was like, oh god, as if he's hit Vettel as well, because Vettel's like his mentor. Just like Michael Schumacher was Vettel's mentor. Weird. That's another reason why I'm like, come on, Mick. Like, but anyway, I love Daniel, but he's got nothing but history to offer. Oh, Barry, the truth does sting, and that might be the truth. This is what I'm saying. Do Alpine take the risk and hope for 2018 Daniel Ricciardo? I don't think they do. I think you gotta go Pierre. Yeah, it's a shame for Daniel Ricciardo, but is it a shame? I mean, shame's the wrong word. He's had a great career. He'd probably go to IndyCar and win the championship, and then it's not a shame, is it? He'd still be a top dog. But yeah, what we're saying. No, Daniel got beaten by Lando. Oh, Daniel's been absolutely smashed to the curb by Lando. It's been probably the biggest difference in teammates on the grid. Norris, Ricardo. Albon slaps Latifi, doesn't he? I mean, Bottas slaps Joe. Bottas and Joe as well is probably a bit one-sided. I'll admit that. But other than Bottas Joe, I'd say Norris Ricardo has been the most one-sided teammate battle on the grid. Well, also Gasly Tsunoda's a bit. The more I think about this, I think Norris and Ricardo have been so one-sided. It's embarrassing, and that's ultimately why they've made the decision. K-Mag's at 29. K-Mag is born in 1992, the same year as me. But I don't know if he's either 29, gonna turn 30, or just turned 30. Because the two drivers I always remember, like the two drivers that I'm the same age as, is Kevin Magnussen, and the other one's Stoffel Van Dorn, who, in fact, I'm exactly the same age as Stoffel Van Dorn. Van Dorn is in Formula E, and he's Formula E champion. But but Kevin will be 30 this year if he's not already 30. Put it that way. It's hard living in your dad's shadow. This is it, Remco. This is it. He is the best ever, Remco. I'm seeing it from but it is a difficult one because I watch Mick, and I'm thinking, please be good. It's like more of out of hope than belief. I'm like, please be that elite level that your dad was, please. Because I'd love it. I'd love nothing more than Mick to produce magic in Formula One. We've seen little spark of it this year in Austria and British Grand Prix. Seen sparks of it. Oh, I'd love it. But anyway, that's the end of the session. I mean, not a lot was going on track, was it? So we just went on a full F1. Well, that's how practice is. We have a chat. Appreciate everyone in chat getting involved and having a general conversation about whatever's going on. But yeah, I has finished a Ferrari 1-2. Leclerc from Sainz by 0.004 of a second. Hamilton ended up third, less than a tenth off the pace. Norris was fourth, a tenth off the pace. Then it's Russell, Stroll, Alonso, Verstappen only eighth. I don't think he must. Well, he mustn't have got a perfect lap in, surely. I doubt Red Bull are going to be 7/10 off the Ferrari. So watch this space as regards to Max Verstappen. It looks like they're lining up for a race start right here and now. 3, 2, 1, lights out and away we go. They're all lining up on the grid for a practice start at the end of FP2. It's Sainz from pole position. Kevin Magnussen from P2 on the grid. It's Lance Stroll second into turn 1. Yeah. So it has ended up Leclerc, Sainz, Hamilton, Norris, Russell, Stroll, Alonso, Verstappen, Ocon, Ricciardo rounds out the top 10. Then it's Tsunoda, Perez, Schumacher, Vettel, Zhou, Gasly, Albon, Bottas, Magnussen, and Nicholas Latifi in 20th and last place. Thanks all for joining me today. Obviously, we had a couple of new people in the stream, so appreciate you all. Join me for qualifying tomorrow when we get the real action. That'll be 2 o'clock is qualifying at UK time. I'll be live 10 minutes before it. So yeah, join me for that. And then obviously the race at 2 p.m. on Sunday. I'll be live 1:30 for that, just as a little bit of a pre-race chat, and then we get into the full race. But yeah, thanks to everyone who's joined me for practice 1 and practice 2 this weekend. Appreciate you all. Please do drop me a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're Formula 1 fan. You know we're live near enough every single session, plus like news updates, previews and things like that. So yeah, appreciate you all, guys. And yeah, cheers, Deb. Good luck, Leclerc. He needs a boost right now. I have gone for a Leclerc win before I go, actually. This is what I've predicted this weekend. I've predicted the Verstappen demise. It's been too smooth for too long, and I've gone overboard on the Fernando Alonso Alpine situation. I've gone P2, but it is Madman Predictions. It's called Madman Predictions for a reason. It's easy to predict a Verstappen win, innit? But anyway, guys, appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you tomorrow at 10 to 2. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Barry. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow qualifying for the Dutch Grand Prix.